Hello everybody, welcome to this time-lapse of me painting a Goldern Lion Tamarin, and here I'm going to make heavy use of the airbrush. The first task was to mask off the animal and branch it's sitting on using frisk, and I just cut the animal out using a scalpel with a 10A blade. The surface I'm using is Ampersand Claybord, and this allows me to scratch into it with a scalpel a bit like scraper board, and this is perfect for the fine hairs that this animal has millions of. The next few videos I tend to paint landscapes as they seem to be most popular, but I will definitely be doing lots more animals, so please comment below what animals would you like to see me do. Very much subject to whether I can get a decent reference photo or not, but please, I'll be very interested to know. The hairs of the tamarin will flow over the branch, so I must paint that first, and as I intend to put most of the colour down with an airbrush, I need to mask this area off, so it's back with the frisk and the scalpel. The idea here is to spray some colour, scratch out the details, and then spray some colour over the top again. This will mean the details I scratched out, which start pure white, will pick up the colour I'm spraying, and I'll continue this way until I think I can't get any further, where then I will switch to the paintbrush. The final step is to spray some shadows over the whole thing to make the animal sit into the scene better. It's always an exciting but slightly nerve-wracking moment when you pull the mask off, as you're never quite sure whether you got the tonal values right. Now on to the tamarin itself. Here, instead of a frisk mask, I've pre-cut a mask out of thin card. The reason why I've done this is I didn't want a very harsh line where the mask goes, and you always get that with frisk, so I wanted the edges to feather slightly. Plus I'm going to be going back and forwards with this mask as I build up the colours, then scratch out the hairs, build up the colours, scratch out the hairs, and I want to do big wide sprays to get the bulk of the shape. Later, when I'm more down to the refinement stage, I won't bother using a mask at all. The colours are fairly transparent, and if I overspray a little bit into the sky, I don't think it'll notice. It's crucial you have a very sharp blade doing this scraping, and I started this painting with a brand new blade, which I will change halfway through. The early layers always look a bit washed out, and that's as it should be. You don't want to put down heavy colour right at the beginning. You want it to build up slowly in layers. This will give it a greater richness. Plus all these early hairs, after being sprayed over many times, will push right back into the background and give it a great depth. I will be finishing off the fur with some brushwork, so I'm now at the stage where I'm wondering how many more layers, how many more scratching and airbrushing I should do before I start the painting phase. And now the part I've been looking forward to the most, and that's the tamarin's face. Looking at the reference photo, there's a lot of tiny little hairs which give the face a kind of a texture. So I've decided I won't use the airbrush on the face at all, apart from the little bit that was already there, and I'll just build the face up with lots of little tiny paint dashes. And he has a lovely pinkish sort of violet tint to the skin on the face, so I'm going to try hard to replicate that. As I work around the face, I'm starting to put in the darker hairs with a paintbrush. These are the hairs that I couldn't quite do with the airbrush scratch method, as those hairs are always lighter than the background. And with this layer of painted hairs, hopefully it will tie the whole thing together. And there we have it, painting finished. I do hope you enjoyed this little demonstration, and I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It's so important for a small channel like this, as it's the only way YouTube recommends the videos to other people. Also, check out the links below. I have links to my Instagram page and where you can buy prints of this painting and many others. Many thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come back and see the next one.